Okay, Siobhan, I'm all ready and set up when you want to go.
Great. Thanks a million, Graham. That's great. Well, quite a lot of people have already joined us, so maybe we'll start. So thanks again to everybody for joining us. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Siobhan O'Dwyer, and I have the privilege of being the CEO of Youth Advocate Programmes Ireland. I'm delighted to welcome you all today to join us on our webinar where we're launching our annual report for 2025 and our strategic plan. Um, the strategic plan is the outcome of a wide consultation with staff, the board, stakeholders, and all our young people and families. It's a very practical strategic plan. We like to be very practical with clear goals and objectives for us all to work towards. The vision that YAP Ireland have is for a society where all children, young people, and families are confident and connected to their communities. I suppose that's a very important vision that we're constantly working towards. And the values and principles that we hold very dear and that are very important, particularly to the young people and families we work with, are things like the no reject, no eject policy, hope, which is very important in these current times, and of course, quite a lot of fun, which you will see through some of the videos, etc., that are going to be shown later on. The annual report outlines the work carried out across a range of programmes in 2025, where we provided intensive support to 533 young people and families, primarily referred by our partners in TUSLA. We worked with 45 young people through the YAP Ability programme, primarily referred by the HSE. 102 young people used our independent mental health advocacy service for individual support, and hundreds accessed independent advocacy through group work in the inpatient units. We provided independent advocacy for 158 separated children and integration support for 49. 2025 was a very busy year, but it was a very fruitful year with young people and families achieving positive outcomes. Just a couple of examples: 82% showed an improvement in their self-esteem and confidence, and 87% in home environment, physical and financial. The SDQ report also shows major improvements across the 6 categories. The importance of relationships in bringing about change is rooted in the YAP model, where community-based advocates bring a range of skills to the young people and families, supported by committed, skilled staff. The voice of young people and families is key to our work, so we will show some of their work today, as well as hear from our invited speakers, who, firstly, some young people, and then we'll have Louise Mellon from Fighting Words give a video. Okay, let's get started. Thank you.
How has your advocate helped you?
To encourage me to do more things, and push out my comfort zone a bit.
How to cross the road and they've been nice to me.
How has your advocate helped you?
Lorraine has helped me with my confidence.
Helped you?
Lorraine has helped me with socializing with new people.
How has your advocate helped you?
She understood and wasn't judgy.
What's your favourite activity?
Probably bacon.
What was your favourite activity to do with your advocate?
I would just chill back and go to the cinema. I enjoyed doing that quite a lot, so yeah.
Oh, the main thing I really enjoy by the whole YAP thing is just was it going to the groups with other people,
Participation.
yeah, participating, doing rounders, football, and bowling that we've done.
What's your
so
favourite thing to do in YAP?
Going out to the pictures.
What was your favourite activity?
I enjoyed going to see the music on Grafton Street and Grace Club.
What have you learned in YAP?
To be more kind.
to push yourselves to do more things you're comfortable with.
And to be more like social with people and all. It's like it's not that hard. You just gotta like take the push.
Hi everyone, thanks for inviting me to speak today. It's a real pleasure to join you. My name's Louise Malin and I am the volunteer coordinator with Fighting Words, and I was also the project manager for Creative Connections, which I'm delighted to be able to talk about today. The Youth Advocate Programme Ireland and Fighting Words collaborated through the Creative Connections project last year. Creative Connections was a cross-border initiative that brought together 16 groups of young people from across Ireland. As part of this project, a group from the Youth Advocate Programme took part in 8 storytelling sessions with drama facilitator Calvin McGee. Across those sessions, the young people explored their creativity, developed their voices and built confidence through storytelling. It was a real joy to see their ideas grow and take shape over time. A particularly special part of the project was when the groups came together in person. The group from Youth Advocate Programme Dublin had the chance to meet with participants from Cork and Belfast, and those shared days were full of energy, creativity and connection. The YAP group were especially welcoming to those travelling to Dublin, and they really helped to create a warm, inviting, inclusive atmosphere for everybody involved. The stories produced throughout the project were truly remarkable, full of imagination, honesty and individuality. The group from YAP were a hugely valued part of Creative Connections, and their contribution helped make the project what it was. The project culminated in the publication of a book, which was launched by Roddy Doyle in Portmarnock. It was a wonderful celebration of all the young people's work. We were also delighted that Karen, one of the advocates from the Youth Advocate Programme, was able to attend on the day with one of the participants live. They were just a lovely, lovely addition to the day.
Really been enjoying the whole day because witnessing young people launching or making public their creative work is quite an amazing experience really, because at one level it's very cheerful, there's a lovely atmosphere, but I know doing that is a more complicated experience because making your personal creative work public is nerve-wracking, and it's great courage, these kids, particularly the ones standing up and reading their poems and reading their stories. But it's such a pleasure hearing the brilliant use of language that's common to us all, but each young person uses the language in a way that's quite unique, and that's an extraordinary thing to witness.
In 2025, YAP Ireland collaborated with Fighting Words to help students of all ages to develop their writing skills and to explore their love of writing. 3 groups of young people from Cork, Dublin and Belfast joined together on a writing quest. Together, they chose their method of storytelling and worked collaboratively with a drama facilitator. All sessions took place at the Fighting Words Centre in Dublin. Young people used their hobbies, life experience and imaginations for inspiration. You can hear one young person's story now.
Every few months, me and my family go to Bray to just go to like a restaurant and then like go to the arcade. But like one of the days we went up to the Bray Head Hill, and it was me, my mum, and my sister, and we climbed up to the top, and then we had to climb back down. But my mum fell into the bush, so we. It was like really muddy and like slippy, so we had to rescue her. And then after we got ice cream and we walked along the beach for like 20 minutes, half an hour, and then we drove home.
All the stories will be featured on the YAP Ireland website, showcasing the imaginations, creativity and talents of the young people we work with. A big thank you to Fighting Words for their help and expertise in helping us exercise our right to write.
Thank you so much. I'd like to now introduce Tanya Ward, who's going to speak to us for a few minutes. Tanya is the Chief Executive of the Children's Rights Alliance, one of our main partners. Thank you, Tanya.
Thanks, Siobhan, and thanks so much for those videos. Lovely to see an overview and reflection of the work. Look, I just wanted to first congratulate YAP on just, an excellent year. It's just brilliant to see the way YAP is expanding into so many different areas and actually working with young people in areas they really need, like in terms of the mental health advocacy and working with unaccompanied minors. But what's really striking, I think, is your evaluation data and demonstrating that you're actually really transforming and making such an important difference to children and young people. What has really struck me about the work YAP does is, it's doing the development that actually sometimes schools miss out on. It's helping young people reach their full potential. I love the focus on fun. I think there's too much focus in schools on compliance, and it really affects children and young people's experience of education. And I can see one of the things about YAP is that you're managing to reverse that with children and young people. But what I also love about what YAP is doing is its focus on participation and, really creating an approach with children and young people that, small decisions in everyday life make a huge difference to them, but actually being able to make those small decisions actually gives them control over their lives and makes them feel listened to, and creates a culture actually where children and young people know that if they have a small issue and that they need to raise it, if they have a big issue, they can raise it as well, and it will be listened to. I also love the focus in YAP's work around building the self-esteem of young people as well, and also providing opportunities to influence decision making. What I've always felt about YAP's work as well as an advocate and a partner of YAP is that YAP's approach to telling the story of children and young people, creating opportunities for them to influence and shape decisions has just been so constructive. And I can see again and again where YAP's approach to influencing is actually listened to by all the key stakeholders in the field. So I just wanted to congratulate you on this extraordinary leadership of YAP in terms of its participation and developmental work with children and young people. And I'm really looking forward to the rolling out of this strategic plan. And I hope you get lots more resources and lots more support to reach more children and young people in the coming years.
Thanks a lot, Tanya. That's really helpful. It is great
and I say that knowing funders are on the line.
Yes, absolutely. It is very important, I suppose, for YAP as part of our model. It's to be strengths-based and to try and influence through both pointing out maybe the positive things that people are trying to do, but then also what are the solutions to some of the issues that continue to arise. So thank you very much for that. We're now going to see a video around our mental health service and some of the consultation work to build on from what you were saying, Tanya, that's being carried out in relation to the Mental Health Commission. And then we'll hear from Trish.
Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk to you about a recent consultation process that YAP undertook with the Mental Health Commission and our young people. The Mental Health Commission are developing new standards for CAMHS, which will aim to modernise mental health services in Ireland and provide a person-centred approach. The Mental Health Commission began a public consultation to gather feedback on how a good youth mental health service could look. They collaborated with YAP Ireland to get feedback directly from young people regarding what is important to them. YAP staff designed and developed a youth-friendly survey, which young people could complete either on their own or with the support of their advocate. This survey was provided to young people via their advocates. Independent mental health advocates completed the survey as part of their weekly groups in inpatient settings nationally. The feedback received was through these independent advocacy groups. The team of independent mental health advocates, Nicola, Amy and Kira, began each group by giving an introduction to the project, and they explained what the proposed standards would do. They followed the set youth-friendly questions developed and recorded the young people's responses to these. The team highlighted solutions to current issues, And we let young people know where this information will be going and where they could find the standards once they have been completed. The next steps in this project was the response has been provided to the Mental Health Commission. A total of 49 young people had their say, both through group feedback and individual feedback with the independent mental health advocate. The Mental Health Commission are currently preparing a first draft of standards, and young people will have further opportunity to feedback on the first draft of the standards later on this year. Here we have 5 top themes that came up through consultation with the young people. Young people are asking for respectful and non-judgmental services. They want transparency with themselves when they are accessing mental health services. They want to be seen as a person and not just an illness. Young people believe the use of technology and social media can help bolster and improve services for young people, and they want to be listened to and to be communicated with, not just with their parents. I'll leave you with some quotes that have come directly from the young people that took part in this. Heard, not studied. Young people want safe, welcoming spaces, and they want to be included in decisions about them. Thank you.
Hi, how are you all? Thank you so much. Graham, if you want to play the presentation and I can talk you through it, that'd be great.
Trish, this is video, so I'll just leave the video sort of screen on when it's finished and you can explain it then.
Perfect. Thanks a million. So in 2025, YAP began a pilot employment programme with IKEA Dublin. This programme was designed to support young people to gain meaningful experience in the workplace. With the support of the advocates, team leaders and service managers, young people were guided through every stage of an employment process. So this included preparation and readiness to work, participation in interviews, with some progressing to an induction and paid placement stage. So in total, 9 young people progressed to an interview and induction stage with IKEA. As part of the pilot, a dedicated workshop for inductees took place in IKEA, providing clear information on the application process, available roles, and the benefits of working with IKEA. As a result, 6 young people were successful, commencing work placements in March of this year. The pilot scheme is a powerful example of what can be achieved when organisations and individuals come together with a shared purpose. The learning, insights and relationships developed throughout the process will continue to shape and strengthen the work going forward. A sincere thank you to IKEA Dublin for their support, professionalism and commitment, and also a huge thank you to the young people who participated in the pilot programme for their trust, engagement and belief in the process. Thank you.
YAP Ireland carries out quality calls and questionnaires with parents and carers, as well as young people, to evaluate their experience with the YAP service. Here is a sample of some of the feedback we've received from parents and carers this year.
I love the fact that my son is getting out and he's talking to someone else rather than just ourselves at home. The fact that he is leaving the house is a miracle.
It's giving the family space to take a breather. She's going out, and that's a big thing. She has a lot of anger, and it gives us the headspace to do something.
The girls are a lot more open. It's a lot easier to talk to us, and they will already have spoken to the advocate first. Every family could do with this, to break down the barrier between adults and adolescents.
Seeing my daughter smile when she was out with the advocate was great, and I couldn't tell you when I last saw her smile.
My daughter has started to trust people. She was shut up and not communicating. She wasn't in school before. Now she listens to what the advocate says. She believes and trusts her.
Thank you. Just very big thanks to the parents and young people who do give us feedback. It's really, really important part of both voice from the point of view of elevating their voice when we're asking them to give us their views about things, but also for them to help us to make sure that the service is continuing to develop and meet their needs. I'd now like to introduce Gary Ivory, who's the CEO of YAP Inc., and who welcomed us to America last year for the 50th birthday celebration of YAP Inc., which was a great occasion. And so, Gary, I'll invite you to speak.
Thank you so much, and it's wonderful to join you all today. First of all, I just want to say thank you, Saban, for the invitation. I had a great time in Ireland last year in September to get to visit for a couple of days. The amazing work that is happening in Ireland, and just major kudos and much success. The annual report and strategic plan are very impressive. And I love the theme of my voice, my choice. So I just want to share a couple of just observations. First, just seeing how you are putting the principles into practice in Ireland. It was impressive last September when I read the newsletters. The way you all put the principles into practice is absolutely amazing. The consistency, the level of impact in the way that you all implement the model is absolutely amazing. And I always say that I learned so much through reading you all's newsletters. The way that you all live and breathe the principles is very, very impressive. I also love the theme, my voice, my choice. To me, there are three things that I think that the theme does. It shifts ownership of the plan to the young people and families rather than the systems. That's very powerful. It also gives power to the young people themselves and gives them voice and choice, which is very powerful. And we know that helps with the success of the individualized service plan and helps with youth and family engagement. So that is very, very impressive. The only thing I want to say is that the power of what you all are doing is so encouraging. Every time I, again, read a newsletter that you all send out, I don't look at them every week, but I look at them at least monthly, and they're very impressive the way in which you all engage young people. We can learn much. I've learned from you, Saban. I see that we're partners in implementing these models in different contexts, but it's the same model that we're implementing. And the work you all are doing is very, very impressive. I just want to encourage you all to continue the great, amazing work you're doing. I hope to get back to Ireland sometime in the future to be able to see and learn again. I'm always in learning mode to learn what we can do better on this side of the pond. And we're very grateful for this opportunity to both share, participate, and learn about the amazing work and the amazing impact you all are making.
Thank you, Gary. That's great. And we learned a lot from visiting the projects in the US as well, because it's model and we're in different contexts often, but we also know that the model works, whether it's here or in Guatemala even, or Sierra Leone, where our partners were with us as well, and indeed in the other areas, but particularly across the US, where the most amazing projects in often quite difficult circumstances, shall we say, particularly at the moment.
Yes.
So thank you so much for that. And we do hope that you do come back to visit us in Ireland again shortly. We're going to have a couple of videos now and some poetry. We'll then hear from Karen Blaney, a team leader in Dublin North.
A poem by a youth advocate. Every person is unique in themselves and unique in what they need. The young people we work with, given the autonomy to lead. We meet them where they're at, no judgments made. We can't work magic, but we can help some challenges fade. We as advocates support, listen and guide, helping our young person navigate, share and not hide. Sometimes we find emotions hidden, but it's all there. It's nice for them to know their advocate does care. In life, do you notice with external wounds visible to the eye, obvious treated, and it can be hard to lie. Whereas wounds we can't see, the ones on the inside, less obvious, hidden, to minds and bodies they're tied. As advocates, our listening skills are very strong. Talking about life's ups and downs can help you. We want you to know you 100% belong. What do our young people need? Well, together we work on their goals, to get going on a plan to support these precious souls. Sometimes our young person might stick on their playlist and we drive. As we drive, we think to ourselves, what really helps our young person thrive? Together we meet new people, we experience new things. Museums, parks, or a game of pool. When you think about it, the job is actually really cool. Steps can seem big or they can seem small, but the main thing for us is that it's the young person's call. It all depends on that one unique young person you see, their choice, their pace. It's all about them. This is to us absolute key. To our young people, this time with YAP is purely for you. We care about you, we are there for you, we learn from you too. Thank you for trusting us, thank you for being you. You are an inspiration in so many ways, and you certainly bring a lot of fun to our days. We wish you the best beyond your time with YAP. Go live your life and keep adding those feathers to your cap.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really, sorry, let Graham do this. I just think it's just an amazing piece of work from an advocate, and just the skill set and the beauty of poetry and writing and music that everybody brings to YAP is just so amazing. So thank you very much for that.
YAP started working with some very dedicated professionals in CAMS Limerick on a pilot scheme in late 2022. This year, 2026, YAP and CAMS have an extended agreement to work with more families in the wider Midwest area. Beyond the clinical aspects of mental health, young people and their families can face social, emotional and practical challenges. CAMS key workers and referrers see the benefits of non-clinical social prescribing through YAP for holistic care. The young people we work with have diagnoses such as anxiety, depression, OCD, schizophrenia, eating disorders, language and learning disabilities. Some are neurodivergent, ASD or ADHD, and some have self-harmed. Common challenges include routines, boundaries, sleep, emotional regulation, substance misuse, and body image. Social engagement, isolation, low confidence, poor self-esteem, and difficulties with school are often present. In essence, young people and families referred by CAMS struggle just like those referred to YAP by other agencies. Our advocates work one-to-one as positive role models, providing time out and space for young people to find their voice, express their emotions and opinions. Together, they explore and identify strengths and interests and build on these to address needs and engage with community resources. We have had young people find joy through equine therapy, music, and getting active. They've built social skills such as learning to take turns, building resilience through the wins and losses of bowling, pool, and basketball. Catching the bus and shopping for ingredients to cook, bake, and clean up in the YAP Hub kitchen have built independence and confidence. Baking disasters demonstrate that trying and failing are learning steps towards success as long as we don't give up. Small group participation activities such as swimming, climbing, or board games provide a safe, supported environment for our young people to meet others, build their social skills with the support of their advocates. As routine and relationships build, young people seek support from advocates on how to deal with conflicts, challenge negative thoughts, and try new things to make life easier and happier. It can take time, but young people who have completed the YAP program have returned to education, built up their confidence and self-esteem through independent living skills. They have found and pursued interests that have helped them make friends. Parents have been able to step back and see that even though there may not be a cure or a magic fix to their child's mental health condition, there can be acceptance and a good life path. Parents have noted that their children are less anxious, more confident, and come out of themselves. We look forward to expanding our work with CAMS and working together to support young people and families build the skills and confidence to fulfill their potential.
I'd now like to introduce Karen Blaney, who's going to speak through a particular case study. Karen is one of our team leaders in Dublin North.
Thanks so much, Siobhan. Good afternoon, everybody. And thank you so much for having me and for listening. So as Siobhan said, I'm a team leader in Dublin North, and I recently, just before Christmas, worked collaboratively with one of our advocates in support of one of our YAPability cases. So as majority of you will know, YAPability, we get the majority of our referrals from the HSE Disability Service. This young person was initially referred to us when he was around 13 or so. He has a diagnosis of ASD, ODD, which is oppositional defiance disorder, and ADHD. He was struggling a lot in social situations, and he found it really hard to get on with other people. So we got involved because, having met with Mum, she had admitted that she was at crisis point. It was just herself and the young person at home all the time. She felt that she didn't really have other supports, and she was getting ready to head back to work full time after a year off due to stress. So this young person, because he was neurodivergent, didn't really like to be seen as being different. He needed support in developing some independent living skills to get an interest in outdoor activities and pursuits, and we wanted to help him build up his skills to improve socialization. The main goals here were for him to develop his independence, and I'm happy to report that once engaging with YAP and an advocate, he was able to order food by himself and pay for items in the shop with no help from anybody else, which was a really significant step for him. He needed help to develop a positive routine after school, and again, his behaviour around this really did improve. He felt more comfortable in social situations, and he was able to engage in positive conversations with people that he met during activities. Prior to YAP's involvement, this wouldn't have happened for him. He also learned about money management, and he increased his own social capacity and social interactions as well. He was able to make marked improvements socially. He gained a better understanding of other individuals' boundaries. He was also able to recognise when he'd made a mistake, and he would apologise for it. And I think that was because he was met by an advocate who recognised who he was and the differences that he navigated our day-to-day world in. He became more confident and comfortable. He was able to stay in the restaurants after independently ordering food to eat, which was really, really a positive step. And again, hadn't been happening prior to YAP's involvement. And a quote from the advocate himself said that he was, able to order food. He was able to talk about going back to music classes, which is something that he really, really wanted to do. And he was also able to practice Spanish as well. His mom said that they wouldn't have been able to do that prior to YAP's involvement. The advocate at the end of the activity, when he was saying goodbye to the young person, really reinforced all the good work that the young person had done themselves. And the advocate actually said that he was proud of him. And I'm not sure that young person was used to hearing that. The young person said that he didn't really want the YAP to end, but he was happy to say goodbye to his advocate. And they ended a really positive note with a fist bump on the way. So that's just one of the interactions that we've had in our YAPability cases. And they're definitely some of our more intriguing cases to work on, and ones that we always enjoy seeing through to a positive end. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks a lot, Karen. That's really great example of the types of work that we're doing alongside other agencies. I'd now like to introduce one of those other agencies. Nuala Colton from TESS is going to say a few words. Thanks, Nuala.
Okay, thanks, Siobhan. Good afternoon, everyone. It's always great to be at a YAP event. I always leave energized and enthused. So as always, this is no different. So, and it's great to hear from young people and families how YAP impacts. I suppose from a test perspective, I suppose our relationship has been very positive with YAP. It's great to be here, and I want to congratulate and wish the team all the best for the annual report and the strategic plan for 2026. We're in our 5th year now in partnership working with YAP, and that has been built upon as the years have went on. I suppose from a test perspective, when we meet a young person and their family, it's around school attendance issues, and things can be pretty stressful for everyone at that time. A lot of the young people will have been out of school for some time, and in some cases they may feel they might never be able to return to school. Every young person's reason for not attending school is different. So Tess, we will always believe, and the EWs will always want to hear from that young person what they see as the barriers to not attending school, and how we all can work together. I suppose, like many services, we have high numbers of cases, waiting lists and everything. So we're delighted that we, at a point in time where we know everything has been done by the EWO and at home by the family to support the young person, we can actually make a referral to YAP, and the advocate can step in and give that, I suppose, that intensive support to the family and that young person on a weekly basis to build up relationships, to build up their confidence, to work alongside the EWO, the school, to really hear from that young person, and so that they feel listened to, they feel heard, and they feel part of that plan for them to return to school. And young people are the key in their own return to school. They know what's actually impacting and what's stopping them returning to school or returning to education, and achieving to their full potential. So I suppose we would always encourage the young people to give that input to plans, and the YAP advocates continue that on. It does. Successful returns to education doesn't happen overnight, and that's why it's great to have that YAP advocate, the support for the young person and their family for a 6-month period. So it allows the EWOs to step back, and for that, that's that intensive support to be given, and very much the strength-based model that YAP works from really supports the young people who we refer to them at a critical time. And their voices are heard, they're part of that plan, their confidence is built up over time, and it's been such a positive experience to see how those young persons, through the support from the YAP advocate, can return to education at their pace, and the feedback we receive is that they really do feel listened to and they feel heard. Their voices are heard by the adults who work with them. I suppose the positive impact that YAP advocates have on a family unit can be immense as well. Parents, when we meet them first, will have made so many attempts and will really be calling for that support and really open to working alongside the EWOs and indeed the YAP advocates. They're more than happy to take whatever support is available, and the impact in that when their child has returned, the young person has returned to school, is such a positive thing for that family unit as well as a young person. So it's been extremely positive. So Siobhan shared the test, the annual report, the report from Tess with me a while ago, and some of the standout improvements that were made for me in that report were the emotional well-being for the young people had increased, the test referrals had increased by 60%, their self-esteem and self-confidence by 66%, The school and home links, which is really important for those young people returning to school and being with poor attendance, had improved by 70%. And the aspirations of the young people had improved by 60%, and the home environment by 84%. So those were some of just the for me, that really positive outcomes and improvements from the YAP input. I suppose over the years we continue to have a very positive working relationship with Siobhan, Danielle, and the YAP team. Danielle meets with the region manager team on a monthly basis around referrals and feedback, and Siobhan's team, we meet the test team and the YAP team. We meet twice a year to review progress. I suppose I just want to, on behalf of Anya O'Keefe, director, and the test staff, I just want to send best wishes to Siobhan and the YAP team, the young people and their families who benefit from the support and their interventions. And we look forward to continued positive working relationships between Tess and YAP in the coming year and beyond. So thanks very much, Siobhan.
Thank you, Nuala. It's been a great pleasure to develop the service with yourselves and to see how well the young people actually are doing, and parents, as you say, who are often finding things very, very tough when they have a young person out of school for any period of time. So it's been great to work with yourselves, and we look forward to continuing to see the very positive outcomes for the young people and families and through our partnership. So we now have another poem by a young person and a video, and then we'll hear from Effie in Tusla. So thanks.
In the small office on a rainy Tuesday, I sat with the principal, her brow furrowed, the soft hum of fluorescent lights dancing around us, the whispers of secrets untold. She spoke in measured tones, words tumbling like leaves, spiraling down into a well of concern. Sadness lingered, fear in my chest, family shocked. Shyness kept me, trust hard to find, the principal's glare etched in my mind. I wanted to run, to leave it all behind, but something inside me refused to decline. I went to Winterville, tried ice skating too, and after those steps I started feeling anew. Lana's was next, a place of fun, rock climbing, bowling, swimming too. Though at first I was shy, but each new adventure made my spirit fly. The youth club felt like a strange new space. At first I was an outsider trying to find my place. Weeks passed, I felt kinda the same. I pushed my limits, came out of my shell. In bowling I laughed, feeling things go well. Went back to Lana's, each time felt like bliss, and there I discovered what I had missed. Taylor Swift's music became my new sound. Confidence grew as fears unwound. I talked about feelings, no longer a choice. Family struggles came, but they soon left. Less shy, less embarrassed, I felt a shift. Learning to swim, learning to dive, local link opened up, I started to thrive. Goals grew clearer, spa day on my mind, more confidence, more people to find. Meeting new faces, I felt better each day, and leaving the house in a refreshing way. After YAP, I'll go out more with friends, new adventures await, where the fun never ends. Group activities, laughter and cheer, I'll embrace it all and have no fear. But as YAP ends, I know there's one thing I'll miss, my spirit animal's comforting wing. Yeah, I've grown stronger, more bold and free, for now I know who I'm meant to be.
Being an advocate is very rewarding work. It's flexible around other commitments in life. It gives you the option to train and upskill alongside the work you do.
Becoming an advocate for young people has been a meaningful experience for me. I come from a background in education and I've spent many years working with young people in school settings. The one-to-one nature of advocacy work goes deeper and allows space for growth.
Coming from a disadvantaged area with a lot of antisocial behaviour, I understand how one good role model, believing in a young person, can help mould them into being able to look at life in a different way, make better choices and choose their path.
Being an advocate with YAP is incredibly rewarding. You get to make a real difference in young people's lives, use your own experiences to support their growth, and develop professionally through funded training and valuable hands-on experience.
Being an advocate is easily one of the most meaningful jobs I've ever had. If you're looking for work that truly matters, I couldn't recommend it more.
To learn more about becoming an advocate at YAP Ireland, including information on our hourly rate and the services we provide, visit www.yapireland.ie.
Thanks very much. As you know, we're always looking for advocates, so please do share our links with anyone that you think might be interested. The pool of advocates brings so many different skills, as you can see, from all the different activities and the one-to-one work that goes on. And Gary commented there on the poetry being amazing, and he's absolutely right. It's been one of those creative sides of YAP that has really taken off. And last year we actually published a poetry book. We had so much poetry, so it's an absolutely lovely way for both young people and adults to express their views and their feelings. And so yeah, we're delighted with that. I'd now like to invite Effion Williams, Service Director with TUSLA, who's here on behalf of Kate and as our major partner himself, to speak to you now.
Thanks, Yvonne. I was going to do this through poetry, but after seeing the standard, I thought I'd better change my presentation. I just wanted to thank you for the opportunity to speak today, and the stand-in for Kate Duggan, who was really keen to be here. She really enjoyed the event last summer, but obviously she got pulled into another meeting today, unfortunately. So again, always delighted to come to a YAP event, as other speakers have said, and the theme, my voice, my choice. I wanted to thank everybody in the YAP Advocacy Programme Ireland, your staff, your volunteers, and also, most importantly, the young people and the families you work with, for the outstanding work they do every day. The impact of that work is clear, reflective, not only on the outcomes, as you've demonstrated today, but in the voices and the experiences of those young people and families you support. And you're a leading light in that, in being able to demonstrate the voice of young people and get that through and present it in amazingly, to be honest. At TUSLA, we recognise that this theme, voice and choice, and it goes to the very heart of what effective services mean for us, for children and young people, and what they should be about. It's about ensuring that young people are not passive recipients of service, but active participants in shaping their own lives, their own supports and their own futures. And YAP Ireland really captures that. I think this is particularly important that TUSLA continues to progress significant structural reforms across the organisation. We're working to strengthen how we plan, how we commission and how we deliver our services, moving towards a more consistent, evidence-informed and outcomes-focused model at a national, regional and a local level. And we now have 30 local networks or areas that we are delivering our services from, around a 50,000 child population. So we're trying to make it as local as possible. And central to this reform is the commitment to listening to children, to young people and to families and communities, and ensuring that their voices directly inform how services are delivered and designed. And obviously, many of our services are delivered through partners like YAP. Just under a quarter of TUSLA's budget is about supporting community services, and YAP is one of our trusted partners in relation to this. Programs like YAP demonstrate what this looks like in practice: a strengths-based approach rooted in relationship, community and trust, and empowering young people to make meaningful choices, whether those choices are small steps, as was demonstrated today. Some of those small steps are huge steps for individual children and families, and they can inform life-changing decisions. And this aligns strongly with the direction TUSLA is taking as we build a more responsive and integrated support system for children and families. I wanted to also acknowledge the partnership approach that underpins this work. No single organisation can achieve all these outcomes alone, so TUSLA cannot alone achieve this. We have to work in collaboration between statutory services, community and voluntary organisations, and of course, young people, families and communities. And that's what will create a lasting impact in Ireland. So today is not just about celebration of achievements, but it's a reminder of the importance of continuing to listen, to learn and to act on what young people and families are telling us. So thanks again for the opportunity to be involved. I always enjoy working with YAP and with Siobhan and the team, and I wish you all the very best and success in the future. Thank you once again.
Thanks, Effian. The partnership approach, of course, is very, very important. And as the changes are taking place in TUSLA, we're working alongside yourselves just to make sure that that is going to work out well, and that the kids and families, who at the end of the day are the most important people here, and that they are obviously in receipt of a positive service, both from yourselves in TUSLA, but also in partnership with ourselves in YAP and the HSE and all our other partner agencies who work in the community. So thank you very much. We're going to have one final video and then we'll hear from Gordon Walsh, who's the chair of the YAP Ireland board, before we finish up.
Welcome. We'd like to introduce you to a few of the amazing young people and the participation activities in YAP Midwest this year. Everyone's story is personal and unique. Strengths and challenges may be different, but everyone hopes for a bright future.
I laugh, I do well in school, I'm involved with lots of activities, but inside I'm crying. I clicked with my advocate, was able to get the support I needed.
I'm still young and I don't really know what I want yet. My advocate opens doors and lets me experience things so that I can explore myself and my interests. I'm kind and creative, so for now that's enough.
I am working on getting out of the house, finding interest and tackling my anxiety with my advocate. I am reading lots, staying in touch with friends, and I'm discovering a talent for baking. My family is delighted in all my goodies.
Thank you to everyone who supports the important work that YAP does to help young people build great futures based on unique strengths and goals.
I can unmute myself just about. Anyway, thank you all very much. And I'd now like to ask Gordon Walsh, who's the chair of our amazing board, just to finish off the webinar. Gordon.
Thanks very much, Siobhan. And much like Effie, I'm glad I didn't attempt a poem today, because I was really impressed actually with the two we've had. Probably the highlight of the webinar over the past hour. But on that note, I just want to say a massive thanks to everyone for all the hard work that went into both the annual report itself and also the webinar today. There's an awful lot of work that goes in behind the scenes to make something like this so successful and to run on time. And I promise I'll be done within the next 2 minutes to make sure we do finish on time today as well. But just a huge thanks to everyone in the team, Graham, Siobhan, and everyone else who contributed to that today. I think listening to the contributions all through the last hour or so just makes me extremely proud to be the chair of YAP Ireland and to be able to contribute in a very small way to the success of the organisation. I think as Siobhan said at the start, it's been a very good year. 2025 was very successful, and we're really excited to build on all of the outcomes achieved throughout 2026, and that work's already well underway in the first couple of months of the year, and really building on the momentum over last year and the previous years. I think it's great to see that. I just want to say a huge thanks to all of our funders, supporters, and just in particular the speakers today. It's always an effort to free up the time in the middle of the day to come along, and hearing Tanya, Nuala, and Effie in particular just provide much more value and validation really than certainly I can as a speaker. To hear them as funders, as supporters, as partners of YAP Ireland speak about the impact that the organisation has on young people and how good an organisation we are to partner with, I think again it's just something that the organisation, Siobhan and everyone in the team should be really, really proud of. I think that sort of validation is absolutely priceless for us. And I hope we can maintain and strengthen and continue to build on those partnerships during the course of the rest of the year, because those are the most important things, or some of the most important things for us. To everyone in the YAP team for all of their efforts and contribution over the past year as well. I think the thing that always impresses me with the YAP team is just that relentless focus on outcomes for the young people, and just not being dissuaded from that. The main thing is truly the main thing in YAP, and it's outcomes for young people. The team's been laser focused on that in all of the time that I've been on the board, both as chair and part of that, and it's something that just continues to impress me all the time. So massive thanks to the team. It's been a hugely successful year, building on that momentum, as I say, already in 2026, and really excited to see what else we can achieve during the course of the year. So thanks from everyone, and as I say again, my highlight was probably Michaela's poem there, to be honest.
Thanks so much, everyone. And as Gordon said, we are actually finishing on time, which is also good. So I just echo Gordon's thanks to our partners, and also so I wanted to particularly thank the advocates who every day are out working in the community with young people, supporting them to achieve their plans and to get on with their lives, and to all the staff team, Graham obviously, and Marianne and Andy and all the staff who had input today into the webinar, because those videos don't get made. They have to be made by somebody, and the young people have to be supported to do so as well. And so there's a huge team working behind the scenes always in YAP. And also we just particularly want to thank the young people and families as always, because it is a privilege to be able to work with them and to see how much they achieve in their time with YAP, and indeed afterwards in partnership with our other agencies. So thank you all very much indeed, and no doubt I will be seeing you, most of you, again soon. So thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.